And I have a message. Peacefully, we are coming for your seat in 2027. If you don't resign today,
have at it.
I am coming for your seat peacefully. And Harvey, Commissioner Harvey, this goes for you too. You are complicit.
If you care about election integrity, and we do care quite a bit about election integrity, then I'm sure you're watching with a keen eye the events in Pennsylvania, where Democrats continue to try to steal that Senate race from Dave McCormick and keep it in the hands of Bob Casey, whose complete and total legacy has been tarnished, sullied, and washed down the toilet by his behavior in demanding recount after recount and basically doing whatever he can to count as many votes, whether they're valid or not, until he can keep his little claws dug into that Senate seat that he believes is rightfully his. After all, it was his dad's, and so he's going to hang on to it too. You lost. You lost, Bob. Get a real job. That said, Democrats in Pennsylvania have been doing whatever they can to make sure Bob Casey stays in that seat, even if it means breaking the law. You remember this video from the Bucks County commissioners faced with a decision about whether to follow the law, a law that says that absentee and mail-in ballots that are not signed should not be counted because they are not legal votes. Faced with that decision, this is what they decided.
We reject all three categories of these ballots.
Your motion is to reject or dismiss the challenges in this category in front of you?
Correct, yep.
Not going to second that, mostly because I think we all know that precedent by a court doesn't matter anymore in this country, and people violate laws anytime they want. So for me, if I violate this law, it's because I want a court to pay attention to it.
There you go. The law doesn't matter. We're going to go ahead and violate the law. Take that. And then she put her pink hat on and went marching in the streets. Resist, baby. Yes, that's right. She's a Democrat. I know you're shocked about that. Well, of course, since that happened, the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court, dominated by Democrats, smacked Bucks County down and said, not just no, but hell to the no. You are not going to count those ballots. Finish this up and follow the law. Shocking, actually. Democrats are continuing to try to fight this, by the way, and good on Republicans to continue to hold the line. Well, that brings us to yesterday's scene in that very chamber in Bucks County, where the people finally had a say in an open forum. And the people were led by one Scott Presler, a young man who wanted to help Donald Trump win election this time around. He moved to Pennsylvania and single-handedly flipped that state into a Republican majority registered voter state. He registered voters tirelessly, daily, for years. And Bucks County was one of the major focuses. And after all of that effort, he sees that those people that he brought as first-time voter registries to vote in an election for the first time in their lives, he's seeing this commission override and disenfranchise all of those people's votes by allowing illegal votes to be counted. Well, Scott Presler, man of the people, Mr. Presler goes to Washington, or in this case, Bucks County. He was not going to let that happen, not on his watch. So he stepped up and he had something to say, and you are going to love this.
Good morning. Bucks County has been in the news a lot this year. Earlier, we flipped Bucks County from blue to red, and for the first time in modern history, there are more registered Republicans than Democrats here in this county. Number two, voters were disenfranchised in this county. And in fact, I want to thank Chairman Michael Whatley of the RNC and co-chair Laura Trump for suing to make sure that we had 3 additional days of early in-person voting, because voters waiting in line to do in-person, on-demand, mail-in voting were told that they couldn't vote until 5 o'clock, that the line was cut off. So thank you to the Republican Party for suing Bucks County and fighting for election integrity. And now, here before us, it's on the world stage. that we have a commissioner, quote, by Diane Marsiglia, precedent by a court doesn't matter anymore in this country. People violate laws anytime they want. And if I, meaning Diane Marsiglia, violate this law, it's because I want a court to pay attention to it. Well, Commissioner, the court already ruled that undated and misdated mail-in ballots could not be counted. You knew that going into the meeting. And I want to congratulate the people of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. This speech I'm doing right now is going to be seen by millions across the country, the Commonwealth, and the world. And I have a message. Congratulations to President-elect Donald J. Trump, the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America. Congratulations to Senator-elect Dave McCormick, and we are not going to allow Democrats to steal this seat from us. Furthermore, congratulations, because we defeated Matt Cartwright, giving President Trump an additional seat in Congress. Congratulations to Congressman-elect Rob Bresnahan. Congratulations to Congressman-elect Ryan McKenzie, defeating Democrats Susan Wild in Allentown and Lehigh. And I have a message. Peacefully, we are coming for your seat in 2027. If you don't resign today,
Have at it.
I am coming for your seat peacefully. And Harvey, Commissioner Harvey, this goes for you too. You are complicit. Mark Elias and his cronies must be disbarred from practicing law in Pennsylvania, any of his cronies, for the misconduct that they did. I want you to know that I am going to spend all of my time in Bucks County for the next 3 years, making sure that we take back this county. Thank you to every single patriot that showed up today. We did.
Who doesn't want to charge through a brick wall for that guy? Who doesn't want to walk on broken glass if he tells you to walk down that lane covered in broken glass? Because that's leadership. How inspiring is that? He's just a guy. He's just a citizen who had had enough. And he said, okay, fine. This is how the game is played. You get out there, you register, you get people out to vote. We're going to do it. And that's what he did. And not only did he detail the victories they had, but then that chilling moment. Is there anything more terrifying for a Democrat in Pennsylvania than to have Scott Presler look you directly in the eye and say, I'm coming for your seat. You're next. That is leadership. That's what victory looks like. And you know how I know that's leadership? Because people are following him. See, he's not just a one-man band. He's not just out there doing it himself. You see how full that room is. And yes, they are following. In fact, they did follow him as he left the podium. And I want you to see a little bit of what the people of Bucks County, Pennsylvania had to say to their elected officials. Talk about speaking truth to power. Well, the power is now with the people, where it's always supposed to be.
If I behaved in this manner, if I, as a lawyer, had followed the conduct that you all followed, I would have been fired. I would have lost my license. Maybe I would have been arrested. We're sick and tired of one side facing consequences for actions. Where are the consequences for your actions?
You are all felons. You deserve to be in jail. You need to resign today. You need to be fired. We are your boss.
How can the American people believe in the integrity of this election when these commissioners promise to disregard and break the law? The answer is they cannot. These are elected officials who openly and blatantly admitted to disobeying the law. How could we ever have faith in their ability to uphold the law again?
You claim that your comments were taken out of context. Cut me a break. We're not stupid. You may think we are, but we are not. You all took an oath, and you seem to have forgotten that. It is appalling that as elected officials, Marseglia and Harvey, that you decided to count illegal ballots. There's something really wrong with both of you. You, Marsaglia and Harvey, should be ashamed of yourselves and held legally accountable for breaking the law. You are both an embarrassment to our county, our state, and our entire country. I am calling today for you both to resign, and I ask that you do so immediately. You can roll your eyes all you want, sweetie. I hope you do get the attention of the court, criminal court.
Thank God on January 20th, there's a new sheriff in town. I know this pains you losing liberals, but you're going to have to get some TDS training. It's called Trump derangement syndrome. Because there's not going to be any more DEI. There's no more men and women's sports. There's no more men and women's locker rooms. Can you imagine your junior high daughter, self-conscious about her body, and she has to change or take a shower next to a naked man? These are the sick policies you people endorse. Please stay with these policies because 80% of Americans don't want them, never did, but you guys are too dense to understand this country is founded on Christian values. Thank you.
Just a beautiful thing to see. You know how Democrats, whenever they win an election or whenever they're rioting in the streets or protesting or screaming and stopping traffic, they always like to chant, "This is what democracy looks like." That's what democracy looks like. That's power to the people. That's people having their voices heard. I said Scott Pressler looking a Democrat in Pennsylvania in the eye saying, "We're coming for your seat." That's the most terrifying thing. No, actually, for Democrats in this country, the most terrifying thing is awakening the sleeping giant of the American people who are right of center and lean more conservative than the leadership we've had to endure. But this sleeping giant waking up and storming into rooms like this saying we're mad as hell and we're not going to take it anymore. This is what changes everything. I think COVID was the beginning of it. The school board meetings where people got up and finally took back control and power of their children's schools, the schools that they pay for with their tax dollars. And now it's moving into bodies like this. And they still don't get it over on the other side. I said at the beginning of this segment that it was all about voter integrity. Well, let's turn it back to Bucks County for one more speech from one more citizen who had a little something to say about voter integrity and about how our votes, our legal, valid votes matter.
Last Thursday, when you were deciding that you should count illegal ballots, missing at least one signature, the attorney said over and over again that it is illegal to count these. Diane said, quote, "Precedent by a court doesn't matter anymore in this country, and people violate the laws anytime they want. So for me, if I violate this law, it's because I want a court to pay attention to me." You, being the slick politician you are, you didn't even say yes or nod your head. Your eyes were closed and your face was expressionless. Bob, this was your opportunity to be a leader. You could have put a big brotherly arm around her and said, there, Diane. I know you're very passionate about this, but we have to follow the law. You could have done this, but oh no, what did you do? You voted to violate the law along with her. Diane's actually right, though. The law doesn't matter anymore in this country because people like you violate it all the time, and all we the people do is sit here and complain. Well, I want to let you know that I'm not going to take it anymore. I have decided to file a criminal complaint against both of you for breaking the following laws. Title 25, Section 3050, Title 25, Section 3501, Title 25, Section 3510, Title 25, Section 3527, 52 USC 10308. Oh, and by the way, Gene, when they're arrested, we want an evening town hall style commissioners meeting once.
My favorite part is they cut off her mic for the last two words because they still have that power. but not for long. Was that not beautiful? That's what this election was really all about. It really was about the slow 180 turn that this country needs to take, that ultimately is really about returning power back to us. Those three first words of the Constitution, those beautiful words, we the people. That's what the election was about. That's what this is about. And as Democrats continue to double down and triple down and continue down with the policies and their behaviors, like we saw in Bucks County, all they're going to do is forget about waking the sleeping giant. Man, you're yanking on our short hairs. We're not just awake, we're pissed.